Good afternoon. I'm sitting in front of my newest listing here at 2625 Talkeetna. It is a 4-bedroom home here in Riverview, and so we're going to give you a long form showing of it today. Okay, we are here at 2625 Talkeetna. We are in the Riverview subdivision, which is kind of Fairbanks' favorite as far as subdivisions go. It's in town, it's close to the river, it's right off Market Street, and I mean, this place is just convenient for a lot of different people who want to be in Fairbanks but not downtown. So you've got a pretty large lot here with this property. This is actually a apple tree that blooms with pink blossoms in the summertime. It looks really beautiful. We are still in our springtime, snow is melting, but it's not quite bloomed yet season. So you can see we're starting to get blooms on the trees. I don't know if you can tell or not, but green up is coming, which is what we call it here in Fairbanks, where we have the leaves that go from being completely dead, like you see here, to having green blossoms everywhere, which is really exciting. You're going to see people coming out of their houses to celebrate it just being warm again. Lots of people out biking, skateboarding, whatever else. But I'll show you the outside of this house to start with. It is a older home, 1966. Fairbanks, probably some of the oldest Fairbanks homes are right around 1940s, 1930s. And so you're kind of in the first 20 or 30 years of Fairbanks being a established town. It was established back when the gold rush was going on. Felix Pedro pretty much found Fairbanks when he found some gold up north. And so it's been growing since. After the 60s, we had the 70s oil boom, which also brought a ton of people here. We have a ton of housing that was built in the 1970s. I will honestly say that I like 1960s homes, 1950s homes, 1980s homes better than the 1970s homes, simply because they were just building real estate as fast as they could, and they were just trying to get stuff done to meet the boom of people coming up to town. I believe this is either a chokecherry or a lilac tree here. Beautiful blossoms for both. They smell really good. You've got this large lot back here. Access through the backyard if you want. You've also got this side deck. The whole thing is fenced. It's got a little shed here for extra space. We can actually pop in there real quick and look at that. But this property is a 4-bedroom home. It is been renovated. These owners have owned it for a while now, and that shows. It's got almost 2,600 square feet. Got some room in here for all your garden supplies. Side view. It's got the main level here, and then you've got downstairs and upstairs. So it's kind of like a split level, except you've got just a main ranch entryway with the split level going upstairs or downstairs. Some things I like to see is these things being connected. A lot of times these things get disconnected, like you can see there. It does dump a fair amount of water onto the foundation, both when it rains and in breakup. So just for those people who are out of town or looking to move to Fairbanks, I like to cover as much as possible with these, just to make sure that everybody is as well informed as possible. Once again, you've got some exposed siding there, maybe some damaged siding over there. It's got new windows throughout, which is a huge upgrade in this town. Anything that you can do to increase the R value, which is the insulation value, is going to be huge. Typical 2-pane windows that are older with the wooden frame are going to be about an R value of 1. For some context, a good sleeping bag is probably, I don't know, R30, but you can get these new triple pane windows. I believe they have argon inside of them. Periodic elements, it's a gas, and it makes these windows go from an R1 insulation to an R30, which is awesome. You can also add more insulation up there in the roof. That way, it also acts as a blanket. A lot of times Fairbanks will have what they call cold roofs, which is where you've got this flat portion here, right about here. You've got probably about 18 inches ideally of insulation. And then this attic space here is actually open. You can open that gable end and look out over the insulation. And that's actually to keep the snow on the top of the roof from melting. A lot of times in Fairbanks, you will see huge icicles along the fronts of these houses. It's essentially just a sign that the roof and then the insulation and the actual top where the shingles are all connected, and that heat is transferring straight through and into the snow, melting that and causing a lot of inefficiencies. Most of the homes here are on not natural gas. They're on essentially diesel. So we run heating fuel here. We're slowly converting to natural gas, but it's a long process. So heating fuel is what we run. This is in one of the areas that has natural gas hookups available. So if you did want to, they have grant funding that will allow you to change over from diesel into natural gas. They do make you sign some deed restrictions that just say, okay, I'll never have a wood-fired stove in this property, but I am okay with that, and I am willing to trade that for some grant funding to be able to upgrade the boiler system. A lot of times those boilers are good for about 40 or 50 years, depending on how well you maintain them. So this is probably the second boiler that this thing's on. I'd have to take a look at it. But we'll go inside and we'll check all that stuff out. Okay, so I just came in this front door here. We got a little coat closet here, a little place to hang more coats, backpacks, whatever. And then you've got this entrance into this main living area. So you've got the living room here, kitchen, and then you have stairs up to 3 bedrooms and then stairs down to a 4th bedroom. Entering through here, you've got lots of these massive windows, like I mentioned, that are new. Same with the sliding door. And that just helps to let in all of this natural sunlight. This whole place is almost 600 or 2,600 square feet. So it's pretty large. We've got the kitchen here. We're doing some photos, so we were moving this guy around. Updated appliances. There are some dings on it. And then updated cabinets as well. They're not soft close or anything, but then you've got your garbage disposal that you can run in there. You've got the dishwasher, a little coffee nook here overlooking the rest of the living room. Once again, dining room. A ton of plants in this place. You've got this primary here. Main bathroom. Extra storage, access to the crawl space and the closet all in one. Then off of here, you have access to the deck, which is really cool, off the primary here. And then you also have access to this deck through here. We'll go back out over there in a second, go check out the rest of the bedrooms. Okay, so upstairs, we've got 3 bedrooms. Downstairs, we've got the laundry room and a bonus room. So walking through here, these rooms were just repainted, so it smells brand new. It smells like fresh paint. We'll start here on the left. We've got this smaller bedroom. This is a just, what was that, single, full. This is one of those new windows. You can tell it's got the vinyl casing, which is just that vinyl white exterior. Closet here. Some extra storage. I'll go over here. This one's a little bit larger. Looks like you've got either a full or a queen in here. This place is heated with hot water baseboard. So essentially what that is you have water lines that run through this whole house. They are running through here, and then they have that metal like fin system that you can see, all those little tiny pieces of metal, and that helps to distribute the hot air that is coming off of the hot pipes that they have running through the house. Might be a rough description, but essentially hot water ran through the house. Those little like fins on there help to distribute the warmth through the house, and so it's a pretty fantastic passive way to heat your home. Third bedroom over here. I didn't film the exterior, like looking out the window on the other bedrooms. They look towards the street, but we've got the photographer here. She's filming right now. Looking at the shingles over there, they look like they're in pretty good condition. You've got your boiler chimney here from downstairs, and you can kind of see that tree that we had talked about outside in that backyard. Let's get in the bedroom. We got some extra like linen closet space here, big linen closets, lots of room. And then you've got this bathroom here as well. Super similar to the other bathroom. Once again, you've got a window that actually opens, which is kind of cool. I'm gonna crack that open. It's ever too steamy in here. Check out the downstairs. On your right here, you've got that access to the backyard. So if you want to let the dog out or put in a door that has a dog door, you could there. You've got the laundry. These come with the house. I know in some other states they don't, but typically most of the appliances transfer with homes, which is really nice because you don't have to worry about moving a washer and dryer, which can be a pain in the butt. You got a little utility sink here, which is sweet. I like having all this slot buckets right next to the washer and dryer. You can rinse stuff off and toss it right in the washer. Works pretty well. And then view from here, and the same view that you've seen a couple times. Some extra storage, more of the baseboard heating. And then this is the bonus room. So this is not technically a bedroom because it does not have a closet, but it could essentially be one in the future if you ever decide to wall this off and put in a closet. So some extra space for you. This could be game room, extra living room, whatever you want. This is a view of the front. Oh, she's taking pictures. She's probably getting mad at me. Sorry. Check out the one-car garage. A lot of times these are used as storage when people are moving, which is what's happening here. Normal 7-foot garage door, so you can fit most normal cars in here. Just not probably a lifted truck. And then you've got the boiler here. Like I mentioned earlier, definitely not the original 1966 boiler. This thing is newer within the last year, actually. 2025, they put this boiler in, so that's fantastic. Got another 50 years of life on this thing as long as you take care of it. Next to it, this is the water heater, this big thing. So that is going to be your hot water throughout the home. Typically on I think it's a 50-gallon heater there, you're probably never gonna run out of water. This is the expansion pressure tank. And then you've got your heating element for the garage here. Keeps you nice and toasty in the wintertime. Extra storage, extra freezer, new window. We got one more bathroom here. Got some rust there on the baseboard and there. You can just throw some Rust-Oleum on there. It'll fix it up. It's a pretty easy fix. Okay, and that's the home. If you guys have any questions about it, feel free to reach out. We've got showings that are going to be starting next week on Monday. So if you guys are pre-approved and not working with another agent, let me know. We can meet up and talk about how this whole process works, and then we can jump into some showings. Last thing before I take off, got the side deck as well. So plenty of room for entertainment. Got a little bit of a notch in the board over there, but it's all been recently painted and sealed, so shouldn't have to worry about any sort of rot or deterioration.